Hello my fellow traders, welcome to another video on the FXTM forward testing series. In front of us we have the most recent videos that I've had out. We can see all the newer ones have a different thumbnail. And it has been 2 weeks since I've actually made a video, and the reason for that is, I've been flat out. And I've had some computer issues in the last week or so. So I'm going to be going through essentially all the robots that have been going for the past 2 weeks. The last video ended on the Oro Hedge 3.0 blowing the account, but I did change the settings, and I wanted to update you all on the settings that I changed to and what it's done so far. But the only thing is that because I've had the computer issues, it's probably a malfunctioning hard drive, I'm believing. Or maybe the RAM is bugged, but anyway, it just blue screens every now and then I come back to it just essentially doing nothing with a black screen that's lit up, and I have to turn it off and then turn it back on again. So it's done that quite a few times in the last week, so the last week's results are not good at all, but we can still get an idea of how the robots are going, and I'll try and get this issue fixed up as best I can. But if it is a faulty hard drive, I might just have to copy the hard drive over to a new one, and hopefully it all works again. I know you can do it, and I've done it before. Okay, so with all that said and being done, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to have a look at the first 5 robots, then I'm going to close them and come back with the other 5. So first up, let's have a chat about FX Stabilizer, and we can see here that it is trading the H1 time frame. It didn't take a trade for quite a while. So like from the 3rd to from the 7th to I think it opened a trade on the big news that came out on Friday. So essentially what happened was USD and gold. USD had some increased momentum, which caused it to plummet, like Euro USD went down, as you can see here. Gold dumped as well. There were some really big moves at the end of last week, and a lot of EAs got caught out. And as we can see here, we can see that FX Stabilizer is one of those EAs that has been caught out, and it is currently it's down quite a lot. Like I would say it's almost 20% down in drawdown, and that's with this not being on the whole time. The good thing about FX Stabilizer, it is very slow EA, so you can probably turn it off, have it off for a day if the market doesn't move too much, and then open it back up and it will still be probably okay. But in this case, Euro USD has come down quite a bit. It may have been able to close earlier, but it doesn't look like the market has come back at all for it to do that, as we can see here with the pricing. So you can see here it's just come down, leveled out, come down, leveled out, come down, leveled out. A little bit of a retracement, not enough. Come down and leveled out again, and it might keep staircasing down. If that's the case, this account might get blown. We do have quite a bit of free margin left on 1 to 500. It's 1 to 1,000 leverage. So there's heaps of margin left, but it's not a good position to be in, because the next level down is a buy limit at 6.40 lots. You can see that there, and then you can see the take profit of it, and then the other one will probably be moved down to that one as well. So that's the update on FX Stabilizer. It did get caught on this big move. As I said, a lot of robots did, but the results are a little bit inconsistent because this laptop has been on and off over the past week. So we'll see what happens next week. Now, GOLDNIX didn't get caught in that move, and it got caught in an earlier move, actually a few days before, where there was a big dump down here, I think. So it went from, I can't really go back too much further. So maybe it happened at 1795. It went from 1795 to 1770. Maybe that move, I'm not sure, but yeah, the account got blown. It didn't get blown. We lost $4,413, and it could have been due to the computer being off and it running out of margin. I think it did get stopped out though. We can see here, yeah. So went 27, 30, 34, 37, 42, 46, you know, the lots got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think then the market may have come back because after that, you know, it did close this 0.63 in profit and the 0.51 in profit. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. So I can't actually say whether it was the robot or the market, or the computer being off and then come back on and it's like, oh, it's closed everything. So, but I did have the fixed lot size on 0.2. So I'll put it back to 0.1. It was making a fair bit. So, you know, it was up to almost $7,000 that we got it to in, I'd say this is the second month. So in 8 weeks, we turned $1,000 into almost 7K, and then lost 4,400. So essentially, we're still up, which is amazing, considering how crazy gold is to trade. So it's still up $2,590. I just saw here. There you go. So, oh no, $1,590 was still up. So, yeah, pretty crazy, pretty crazy. But GOLDNIX, I've noticed it trades differently, gets different signals on a demo than it does on a real account. So just be really, really careful with it. And definitely, if it was me, if I had $1,000, I wouldn't be using 0.1 lots, and I would have definitely like an equity protection robot, and you know, like a stop out limit, maybe in money. I think you definitely demo it for a while, because yeah, it seems to work better on demo than it does on a real account. So just be careful of that. But it could be because you know, different brokers have different information coming through, and one may pick up a trade and one may not. So it'd be really interesting to do a demo versus real test on the VPS with the same robot, just to see if you get the same signals or not, and if the same profits are the same. So we'll see. Might do one soon on a cent account. Righto, so that's GOLDNIX. Now, this one would be worse off than what it is right now, but I think what happened was it missed the big news event because, you know, it doesn't trade news, and then the robot got turned off because I think I had this computer going and then it just turned off. And I know it missed a few trading days and, you know, many hours where it was off. You know, I was at work and I've come back and it was off. So you know, I'd turn it back on, and I haven't had all the robots going either, because I find that it turns off much more quickly if I have more terminals on. So I've only been having like these 5 on really, and sometimes I had 6 or 7, but I notice it doesn't last very long if I have more on open. So the next 5 that I'll be showing you pretty much is results from probably last week, not this week. So just so you know. But in saying that, Aura Hedge has done, I think it's done really, really well with the new settings. So these are the settings that I've done. So take profit 30, spread 50. I've changed the multiplier to 1.21. The distance is at 20, and that's still the same. But everything else is the same. So all I changed was the lot multiplier and the distance. And yeah, it's definitely made a lot less, but it has definitely been more stable. And what are we up to? 1,368. So don't worry about the yearly here. Just look at the most recent figures here. So for the week, it's done $288, which is really good, and it would be like 39. It would be more than $39 down. Probably be a lot more than that actually, if it was able to open more trades. But in saying that, it might have closed earlier too, because it might have opened a few more trades and then see how it's come back here, it might have closed here, which I'd say it probably would have. But still, it's not a bad thing that it's actually been turned off. So we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully, it stays on for long enough to trade a little bit on Monday, and I can find out more as to what is wrong with his computer. Now, FX Scalper X is down 40%, trading all these pairs. Now, this is on. It is on medium risk, so just so you know, it's on medium risk now, and this is where we're at. So if I can get back to here. So for the week, it made $69, and for the month, $195. So it's still profitable, but I definitely wouldn't be liking to be down 40% right now. We'll see what happens next week. And Promax, I think the computer being off and on has messed up its trades. So this $32 loss, I think probably could have been avoided, but I'm not sure what happened there. So that happened on Thursday. It thinks today is Friday still because we're a day ahead. But yeah, that loss happened on Thursday, and for the week we're down $22. So we'll see what happens with Pro Max. Rightio, so that rounds up the first 5. I'll be back with the other 5, and we'll see how they fared. Okay, so we're back, and these 5 that I'm showing you now pretty much didn't trade since I've had the computer issues. So Pinpoint I know rarely trades. It's not a bad thing, I think, and its trades are really, really good. So I'd really like to probably test it better, like have it on if I could. But all the other ones also want to test as well. So we'll see what happens. But I'm really, I'm very impressed with Pinpoint. When it gets into a trade, usually it's right, and there's not much drawdown. And even though it hasn't made a heap of money, just remember it has made almost 10%. Even though it probably didn't trade last week, it has made already 10%. It said max drawdown here, 27%. Okay, I didn't know that. It has that, but that's good. Oh, it says account balance 1,040. Okay, right. So that's not right, because we know it's got 1,070 in there. So it hasn't updated, right? And it may not update until the market opens, which is on Monday. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm really liking how Pinpoint trades, and I think it's definitely a contender for a real account. And even though it's slow, I consider it more of a retirement EA. So with a portfolio, you probably want to split it into 2 to 3 different types of robots. So you've got your really fast robots where it may make a lot in a day, but you probably need to withdraw it every day as well. So that money you can probably then withdraw into one of these ones, like we call them retirement EAs. So you can probably put those funds into this, and then this will trade. Obviously, it will have more equity, so I can do bigger trades. And because it's a lot safer, you can then your money's cutting more safe than on the high risk, of course. So you've probably got like three tiers. You can have low risk, medium risk, and high risk robots, and you can have like a portfolio of them. And the only problem is with that is you need to manage the high risk ones, and you need to be probably around the computer in case big news happens and you need to quickly stop the robot or withdraw some money out of it, and vice versa. But I think that's a really good strategy to have like not the same strategy on every terminal that you use, every account, of course. So that's just an idea, and I think it's pretty good. But it's just finding out which robots suit what category. Now, R factor, I don't think it did much. Let's have a look at the last 2 weeks. Let's look at the last month. Okay, negative 25. Right. Yeah, so I found R factor the only okay, yeah, 55. Okay, the reason why pound USD was doing really big lot sizes is because it is doing an aggressive strategy. So that's why you'll see here that pound USD has 0.55 lots, everything else is 0.02, and that's because it is trading aggressively, essentially. But yeah, it didn't really trade this month, or it did a little bit, and it lost $25.32. It could have probably made that back if it had been trading, but not so much. But it is still up $110, and it's definitely a contender for live accounts. Now Ranger as well, very impressed with it. It did actually get to trade a little bit this week. Let me just make this bigger. So it made it only made $6.23 this week. It doesn't have any open trades. Obviously, in saying that, it didn't get to trade the whole week. But for the month, it's made $26.22. So that's probably another robot I'd put into the retirement category in terms of robots. Even though Ranger does trade pound CAD, which hasn't had a very good run over this year or the past quite a while. So just keep that in mind if you're going to trade it. It's not about just the tool that you use, being the robot. It's also about the currency it trades, and knowing its strategy, and knowing if it's a good time to start it on that currency pair as well or not. These are things you've got to think about. Right, and next, yep, Parabolic definitely got caught in the dump, and to be honest, I don't think it would have survived. I'm not going to say it. You know, the only reason why it's surviving right now is because it didn't get to trade the whole time. So we've only got 666 free margin left, and we're down 840. And I think had it have been allowed to trade this dump here, I think it would have run out of margin and got margin called with a 0.05 start lot. 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13. Having 1,500 in the account and being down 840 is definitely not good. But oh yeah, I can't put the other thing on here. So that's the only downfall about Parabolic. It's definitely good to have an equity guard for things like this, and I'm definitely thinking about putting a news filter on the robot as well. So if you've got any other ideas for Parabolic to make it safer, or if there are any features that you'd want implemented into Parabolic, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely work on implementing those features into the robot, because I'm actively developing it. It is still under active development, and I'm always coming up with things and testing things with it to make it a better, more safe robot. So I think having a news filter in there is definitely an idea, and I'm currently working on a few other bits and pieces for it as well to make it safer. I think it's already quite good profitability wise. I'd just like it to make it safer for you all, because that's the whole goal, is to obviously make money, but you don't want to lose it as well. So yeah, I think it's going to blow, but we'll see what happens with the Euro USD, and if it's able to trade next week, depending on how this laptop goes. And very last is London Pride. I think I'll remove this robot because yeah, it just hasn't done much, even though I did mess it up at the start, having an hour time frame for it to trade. It's now on 15 and M15, which is what it's meant to be trading, and it still hasn't picked up what, still hasn't really done much. It's only lost a little bit of money. So at 8 weeks at break even, I'm going to remove it and probably put something else in there and see what happens. But I'll try to be more active on Telegram and talk to you all this next coming week. Hopefully it's less crazy for me, and hopefully I can fix this computer as well very soon, so we can have 10 robots all going at the same time again, because it's a bit frustrating for me and you guys to have a broken laptop that we use for forward testing robots. But I'm going to give it a pat on the back, because it has been doing this for over a year now, and it has been doing it 24/5, plus recording all of these videos. So it has been a sturdy workhorse for the channel, and I'd just like to thank it. So thank you, laptop, for providing me the resources to do this channel and give you all guys some insight on how the robots are working and going. So I'll see you all on Telegram. Happy trading next week. Let's see how we go after the big news event. I think the markets are going to be going sideways next week, but I could be wrong. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all